Welcome back, Mac makers. In this video, I will show you how to create a sketch and do a translation in that sketch to move basic shapes. Once I've opened up Fusion 360, I want to go ahead and save my file. So I click on File, Save, and give it a meaningful name. It's in the correct folder already, so I can click Save. The first thing I need to do to start translating shapes is draw the shapes on a sketch. So I go to my toolbar. Again, you can hover over any of these buttons to see what they do. I want to create a sketch, so I click and release on Create Sketch, and the software will prompt me to choose a plane. I'm going to select the XY plane, and I want to start by making a rectangle that shows the basic area of my shape. I'm designing some earrings, so I think about 2 inches by 2 inches is the largest I want anything to be. So I want to start by checking my document settings. I can click the arrow on the left of document settings and make sure that my units are in inches. If they are not, you can click on the Change Active Units button and change your units to whatever you're comfortable designing in. For the purpose of this video, I'll design in inches. Once your inches or your units are correct, now you can start by creating your reference geometry. Reference geometry is anything that is in your designing but not going to be on your final work. So I want to create a rectangle out here that will let me know what the general size is and make sure my design is not bigger than 2 inches by 2 inches. So I go up to Sketch, click the drop-down menu, and select a center rectangle. My first click is going to set the center of my rectangle. I want that to be right at the origin. So I click and release, and then I can drag my box out to whatever dimension I need. I know I want exactly 2 inches, so I'm going to enter 2 and then press Tab, press 2 again to set the height and the width to 2 inches. Press Enter and it draws my rectangle. Right now these are solid lines, and I'd like them to be construction lines, dotted lines, like the diagonals in this shape, because they're not, again, part of my design. They're just there to help me as I'm designing. So I'll zoom in. I can click and hold and then drag my mouse in order to select these lines and then turn them into construction lines. Again, that's because these are references. I don't actually care about what they look like. They're not going to be part of my final design. They're just here to help me. Now I can start creating my shapes. I think I'm going to translate a circle. So I go up to the Sketch toolkit, select a center diameter circle. My first click sets the center of that circle, and my second click will lock it in at a certain size. Again, if you want a specific size, you can always enter that in using the numbers on the keyboard and press Enter to set your shape. You can press Escape to get out of whatever tool you were just using. And now I want to translate or move this circle. So you see if I hover over the circle, it starts to highlight. Okay, so I want to hover over it and right click, press Move Copy. Before I grab any of these handles to try to move or copy my circle, I want to press Create Copy. That way it moves a copy of the circle and the original stays there. And you can see I can move it in the X direction, Y direction, even in the Z direction off the face of this plane I'm working on. I can do things like translate, rotate, move it from point to point, or move it to a certain position, all from this toolbar. So again, I can either drag the shape in whatever direction I want, or if I have specific dimensions I want to hit, I can use the dialog box to enter it in. So maybe I want to go 1 inch in the X direction and -2 inches in the Y. That's outside of my rectangle, so let's try -1 in the Y. And once I'm satisfied with my translation, I can press OK, and I've translated my shape. Again, I want to make sure I save my file after I make that progress, so I go up to the Save button or press Control S on my keyboard.